Yo, yo, yo. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom fighters, and freedom family. Snapzilla Gorilla is in the building. It is Sunday, September, whatever the fuck day it is, 13th, whatever it is. I'll be getting the days mixed up, y'all. Just got through doing my little workout at the park. Got that in early while it was still cool. And about to finish up at the crib. Maybe do about 20 to 30 rounds of 20 to 30 rounds on the heavy bag boxing. Yeah, I wanted to get into this. Yes, more Charlie Kirk stuff. More Charlie Kirk stuff, but from another angle. And the reason I wanted to do this is because it's very important to understand what we're dealing with. What we're dealing with in terms of the power structure within this country or within the entire world. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that Zionism is real, y'all. Zionism is real. And the agenda of the Zionists is to assume power slowly but surely under everybody's nose, right? The idea is that they hold a certain amount of power right now, and they don't want you to know that they do hold the power. They want to remain behind the scenes. They want to pull the strings. They want to make you believe that the people that they put in front of you are really in power, like Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? They want you to believe that Donald Trump is instrumental in how this country is being ran, when really he's not really instrumental at all. Good morning, extra girls, or extra Chris. Salute to you. Weaponized autism. Salute to you. Good morning. We have to understand who really runs shit in this country. And if they run shit in this country, they run a lot of shit all over the world. Okay? Now, there are certain nations that understand this, right? The nations that appear to be our mortal enemies: China, Russia, North Korea, nations like that, they understand what's really going on, right? But we don't know what's going on. And that's why we stay stuck, because they are able to divide us along party lines and racial lines. They divide us across racial and political lines. And that's why we are in the position we are in today. This goes all the way back to the Roman Empire, when they had their Congress and their Senate, and they had the people believing that they represent them, and they really don't. So that is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about a level of influence certain individuals have that is completely understated, right? Completely understated. Yeah, Iran as well, of course. Iran. Some Tattoo Drew says Charlie Kirk is the equivalent of today's Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Well, that's a shame that you say that, because Charlie Kirk had no respect for Martin Luther King. There is no comparison. Okay, let's not go there. All right, there is no comparison. There's no comparison for Charlie Kirk to a Malcolm X, except, well, there is one crucial comparison. There's one crucial similarity, is that Charlie Kirk probably pushed back against a power base that would not tolerate it. I will say that. I will say that, because that's what happened to Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. But that's where the similarities stop. That's where there is no comparison. The only comparison, if this is true, if it's true that Charlie Kirk refused funding from Israel for Turning Point USA, if Israel had anything to do with the death of Charlie Kirk, then guess what? Probably that is the only similarity, and that's where it ends. But the focus should be on, if Israel tried to give money to Charlie Kirk and Charlie Kirk refused, and that could be possibly why Charlie Kirk died, that is what we should be talking about. They both got assassinated due to their beliefs. Well, if Israel had anything to do with it, that's not why Charlie Kirk was murdered, right? But I get what you guys are saying. You guys want to draw parallels and comparisons. Why not draw parallels to John F. Kennedy? Why not draw parallels between Charlie Kirk and JFK? There are more similarities there. Why? JFK died for what he believed in. He knew that the shadow government was really in control, and he was trying to expose it. Was Charlie Kirk doing that, though? Well, see, here's the problem, Theo Jackson. Charlie Kirk did take money from these individuals. Not necessarily Israel itself, but corporations and entities that are Zionist based. Brennan Smith says, dude, you're a moron. Then why are you here? If I'm a moron, you can go on here about yourself. There you go. Bye. Salutations. You don't need to be in here listening to a moron. Anybody else? Proof of what, son of Cole? Proof of what? What I can tell you. Let's see, do you guys read? If you look at, hold on. Let's have an understanding, guys. Okay? Do you guys read the title? I just got through touching grass at the park when I worked out. Have you worked out today? How often do you work out? Do you stay fit? Anyway. No, David Thacker, Malcolm X called out all white folks that were racist, not just liberals. See, you guys have revisionist history. That's what you have. So no proof. Okay, Charlie Kirk refused donor money from Israel before he died. Question mark. Okay? Now, what I do have is an article. Hold on. Now, there are multiple people out there, including Candace Owens, that said Charlie Kirk was pushing back behind the scenes against what Israel was doing in Palestine. Being that Charlie Kirk has a huge voice, this could be a problem optically for Israel. Ken Smith says, how do you know this is true? Go listen to what these people are saying. I'm telling you what Candace Owens said. I'm telling you, you guys really are interesting. I put a question mark in here for a reason, y'all. I put a question mark. If you guys go to the gray zone, right? Go to the gray zone. Go to the gray zone, and there's an article in thegrayzone.com where Max Blumenthal and Anya Parampil had a source close to Charlie Kirk that talked about this. Charlie Kirk refused Nosferatu funding offer, was frightened by pro-Israel forces before his death. Friends revealed. See that? You know why I put a question mark in there? Because I'm not 100% that this is sure that this is true. But it's not just this friend that these individuals talk to and interview. It's also people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, that mentioned how Charlie Kirk, especially when it came to Donald Trump launching a strike against Iran, how Charlie Kirk was expressly against the U.S. launching strikes against Iran on behalf of Israel. Somebody asked if I'm a Muslim. I am not a practicing Muslim. I recited the Shahada when I was 13 years old. So no, I'm not a practicing Muslim. No, I'm not. But am I technically a Muslim? According to Islamic doctrine, yes, because once you become a Muslim, you can't convert. You can't be not a Muslim any longer. You're a Muslim forever, according to the Quran. But I was 13 years old, so I wasn't an adult when I recited the Shahada. You know, it was something that my parents converted to Islam when I was 8 years old, and when I was 13, they had me recite the Shahada, and I started going to the mosque and taking classes and they had me learning Arabic and all kind of shit and studying the Quran. But I'm not a practicing Muslim. I wouldn't say, now I'm not saying Israel did anything. What I'm saying is, it's interesting that Charlie Kirk refused funding from Netanyahu. All right. Now these people are credible. You understand? Go to the gray zone. Look it up yourself. A Trump insider and longtime friend of Charlie Kirk tells Gray Zone how the assassinated conservative leader's turning point on Israel influence provoked private backlash from Netanyahu allies that left him angry and afraid. So, before Charlie Kirk had one position, he started to pivot and change positions. Not outwardly at first. But we have to understand that, okay, so a lot of people like to say that Charlie Kirk was the voice for young conservatives, right? And there were a lot of young conservatives that were against or are against what Israel is doing to Palestine. And Charlie Kirk was having a change of heart and change of mind and a spiritual change, according to Candace Owens. Candace Owens herself said that Charlie Kirk was having a spiritual turning point in regards to Israel versus Palestine. And she also put out a tweet talking about the same thing and how slowly but surely messages are going to be leaked out showing this type of thing. All we have to do is wait and see what's going on. I'm bringing this to you guys' attention because it's important to understand that there could be more things at play here than they want you to believe. They want you to believe that this is a left versus right thing. They want you to believe that this is a black versus white thing, right? Make sure y'all smash that like button, man. Smash the like button. Charlie Kirk didn't believe in violence, but didn't he say that it's worth people dying to protect the Second Amendment? Can we be real about, let's stop with the cult of personality disorder, okay? Let's stop with the idolization. Let's be real about who people are. Charlie Kirk had no problem with violence as long as it served a purpose for what he believed in. Obviously, he didn't believe in what Israel was doing to Palestine. Neither did Candace Owens. Candace Owens was very outspoken against it since it started. She got off of black people and started getting on Israel. You understand? BEBE, what does BEBE mean? That's what Trump nicknamed him. I don't know. I don't know why he named him that. If you think a mentally ill groiper did it, you aren't looking deep enough. Well, it's important to look deeper than what they are presenting to you. Because if you trust the same government that told you Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, that told you that Saddam was gassing his own people, that told you that Muammar Gaddafi was slaughtering his own people, then I have to question your judgment. The same government that told you that Tower 7 on 9/11 failed because 2 other towers were hit by planes. Even though Building 7 was not struck by anything, you have to question your own judgment. I implore you guys, instead of just believing in what they present to you, including these conservative, right? These conservative talking heads on social media that constantly contradict themselves. I want you to really think about what you guys are hearing and seeing. I really do. I want y'all to really argue I'm a liar. What am I lying about? Charlie Kirk rejected an offer earlier this year from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Nosferatu to arrange a massive new infusion of Zionist money into the Turning Point USA organization, America's largest conservative youth association, according to a longtime friend of slain commentator speaking on the condition of anonymity. The source told the Gray Zone that the late pro-Trump influencer believed Netanyahu was trying to cow him into silence as he began to publicly question Israel's overwhelming influence in Washington and demanded more space to criticize him. And you can't do that. Somebody told me to shut up. Okay, let me help you out of here. You want me to shut up, then I'm going to let you go. You can go on about your business. That way you don't have to hear me. Read what whole quote? Heart and Crown Public. I'm reading from what are you talking about? What do you mean read the whole quote? I read the whole, I damn near read the whole, I read the whole paragraph. In the weeks leading up to September 10th assassination, Kirk had come to loathe the Israel leader, regarding him as a bully, their source said. Kirk was disgusted by what he witnessed inside Trump's administration, where Nosferatu sought to personally dictate the president's personal decisions and weaponize Israeli assets like billionaire donor Miriam Adelson to keep the White House firmly under his thumb. Don't call me the liar. Call these people the liar. These are the people that are claiming they have a source, right? Claiming they have a source close to Charlie Kirk and Donald Trump that are giving them this information. Don't call me the liar. I am conveying this to you guys. Y'all are shooting a messenger, and that's okay. I can take the lumps. It's all right. Peggy King, salute to you. Musa, salute. Candace Owens is a good person, okay? I don't know Candace Owens. I know that she is a traitor. I know that she is a self-loathing black person. That's what I know. Anybody that is okay with how, what's the name died? George Floyd died. I mean, there's something wrong with you, right? Just like y'all believe there's something wrong with the people that are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Except George Floyd and Charlie Kirk are two different individuals. But we won't get into that. Y'all can believe what y'all want. If y'all think Candace Owens is a good person, hey, that's up to you guys. Charlie was an evil man. He possibly could have been. I know that he's spouted hateful rhetoric. And see, let me tell you something. Let's say Israel did have something to do with Charlie Kirk's death. Well, how he spoke, the things that he said, division that he caused, because he did create in division, of course. He did, whether you want to believe it or not, made it easier for Israel to do what they did. It gave them the perfect opening where they could create a patsy and people would believe it. Like this Tyler Robinson guy who wrote all these messages on the case and wrote all these messages on the barrel like that silly, stupid shit, all the pro-liberal shit that he wrote that you guys are believing, that many people are believing that he did. Even though if you look at the video of him jumping off the roof, him running towards and running around, you don't see no 42-inch barrel, 42 or 44-inch barrel anywhere on him. You don't see any solid object that he is carrying, but they told you that he marched to the woods, reassembled a weapon, and dropped it in there and wrapped it in some cloth. He allegedly shot Charlie Kirk from this roof. But if you look at it, when he jumped off the roof and ran around and ran to where he supposedly ran to, there is no weapon. There is no visible weapon on him. There's no weapon in his pants. How is this possible? If he actually did this, how did he take this weapon, dismantle it to the degree where you don't see any bulky objects? He's able to jump off a roof, throw down an object that looks floppy and limp, and they're trying to convince you that this guy had a long ass barrel and had the rest of the weapon in the backpack, and that he ran into the woods, reassembled the weapon, wrapped it up, and left it in there and inscribed messages in there. Y'all listen. It makes no sense at all. So if Tyler is a patsy and Israel had anything to do with this, they had the perfect motive to wrap this whole thing up and tie it in a nice little bow. Because of the shit that Charlie Kirk said. It made him an easy target. And would have you, and not only that, it will make him an easy target and foment and create more division along party lines and along racial lines. And people eat it up. Think about that. I want you guys to really think about it. Don't believe what I say. Don't believe what anybody says. Wait until all the information and the facts come out, if it comes out at all. Do we still really know? Is there a conclusion to the Jeffrey Epstein stuff? No, there is none. There is no conclusion to that. And Ghislaine Maxwell, how long has she been convicted and in prison? And they still don't have names? How did she only get 20 years? She pled down to 20 years. And she gave something up. What did she give up? We don't have any information that would give us conclusion to the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. And we'll probably never get one when it comes to this. Right? We'll probably never get a conclusion. The conclusion that we're going to get is that this guy, Tyler, was the killer. And everything surrounding it that does not add up will never get answered. Why? Because somebody like Michael Smithling says, dude, you're white. I'm not white. But, you know, whatever you want to. I know y'all want me to be white because I'm dope as fuck. I understand that y'all want me to be white because I'm fly than a motherfucker. But I'm not. I know you want me to be. It's okay. Kenneth Farquhar says, you are right on track. I appreciate that, brother. Salute to you. Coming from Canada. That Canada money. Kathy Fernandez says, I sound ignorant. That's okay. I sound ignorant, but you here listening to me. You're here listening and watching. You wasting your time writing in the chat of an individual who's ignorant. Sounds good. It's a nothing burger. This could be a nothing burger. It could be. It could be. But when things don't add up, when what they're presenting to you does not make sense, it's important to question it. Y'all don't have to. I question it. I don't believe anything the government tells me. But it's okay. Charlie Kirk was a naughty boy. PGH Big Dog, salute to you, brother. Salute to you, man. Looks like I got another super chat. Let me go ahead and get that. Job for 9, salute to you. Love the content. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Streamers getting asked a silly question that has nothing to do with anything. H, salute to you. Thank you. JRDN, we have to listen to brainwash side too. Sure. BLK need to be prepared for the fall of this state. I don't know if you're saying I'm the brainwash side, but I do like to believe that my mind has been cleansed and I have clarity. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. They're playing us against each other. Absolutely. That's how they get it cracking. This is how governments operate. Well, governments like ours. With a government like China and North Korea, they don't have to. They're just pure dictatorships. They're pure dictatorships. If it's totalitarian state or a dictatorship like China, something like North Korea, countries like that, they don't need to do that. They just obviously, they just go with what they just rule by fiat no matter what, because they have a complete firm foothold. They have their feet on the necks of their people. But in a country like this, where they're supposed to be a two-party system and all this other shit, they have to play these games. YB, good morning. Salute to you. Renee Nichols says, you're here defending the truth? I would hope so. How come people don't talk this much about school shootings? They do. I've talked plenty about school shootings. But here's what we need to understand about every school shooting. Every school shooting occurs in a place where every single gun law you can think of is in place. Every single gun prohibition, every single gun ban, every single restriction. It's a gun-free zone. Think about that. So obviously, only the people that care about the gun-free zone laws are going to follow them. The people that want to kill a bunch of people with little resistance, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go in a gun-free zone and handle their business. Desiree Oliver says they mad because you find, I know. Like this dude says I look gay because he's attracted to me. The person that said I look gay, they're attracted to me. It's okay. I can't help that I look like this. Y'all mad because I look better than you. But that's not what this is about, y'all. See, y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all want to say that I'm gay. Y'all want me, y'all want me to be gay. It's okay. I'm not. But, y'all can go on ahead with that. I look gay. It's okay. Hello, young man. I just found you. I'm listening. What are you talking about, if you don't mind? I'm talking about how Charlie Kirk refused funding from Israel earlier this year, and now he's dead. Because Charlie Kirk was changing his position about what Israel was doing in Palestine. Lord Apprentice, yes, what matters is I'm human. I wish everybody thought like that, but obviously they don't. So, and I'm talking about this article where Max Blumenthal and Anya Parampil on the Gray Zone, they interviewed an insider, basically, someone close to Trump and Charlie Kirk, and this is what they're telling them. That according to Kirk's friend, who also enjoyed access to Donald Trump in his inner circle, Kirk strongly warned Trump last June against bombing Iran on Israel's behalf. Charlie was the only person who did that, they said, recalling how Trump barked at him in response and angrily shut down the conversation. The source believes the incident confirmed in Kirk's mind that the president of the United States had fallen under control of a malign foreign power and was leading his own country into a series of disastrous conflicts. Now, understand this. Donald Trump barked against Charlie Kirk, was angry and shut down the conversation. Charlie Kirk believed that Israel has a chokehold on Trump. So are there more motives from more individuals that worked in concert to make this happen? What I'm asking is, if Trump, like Charlie Kirk said, had fallen under the control of a malign foreign power, could that mean that Israel had assistance in whatever the case may be? I understand. Hey, we have to ask these questions, right? And at the same time, this could be bullshit. But I don't think it is. Who benefits from Charlie's death? Well, you really have to think about that. Who benefits? Well, if Charlie Kirk was starting to turn against Donald Trump about him assisting Israel and what they were doing in Palestine, trying to expand their empire. If you guys go back and look at my earlier content, I talk about how this whole thing they're doing in Palestine, what they're doing in Yemen, what they're doing in these other nations in the Middle East, it's not about self-defense. It's about expanding their empire. If they expand their empire and take control of more land with more resources, they will be a superpower on the level of the United States, of a China, and a Russia. And they will no longer have to hide the level of influence and power they have. That's what it's all about. And if Donald Trump is assisting them in that, not just Donald Trump, but the United States in general, because we have to think about who really controls the nation, who controls the government, the corporations and the banks. Who runs most of these banks? Who is usually at the head of the Federal Reserve? I want us to think about what's really going on here. Divide and conquer. Yes, they use that. Charlie was truth? Sure. The small hats killed Kirk, plain and simple. You can believe that. I'm not going to say who or who did not kill him, but I tell you who I don't believe killed him. I don't believe Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. I don't believe it. Musa said you're 100% right. Yes, we seen Tyler killed him, but we know who assassinated him. I don't know that Tyler killed him because shit is not adding up. Second Amendment is the truth. Well, there's truth in the Second Amendment. Someone says cap, but they won't tell me what's cap. Charlie Kirk got money from Israel start. Yes, Chas. And not directly from Israel necessarily, but from companies that represent Israel. Okay. Y'all want me to be gay so bad, though. Be so gay so bad. Every time I do content on here, it's very interesting. I don't know why. Thomas Cooney asked why I think I look better than him. Because of comments like that. But Charlie was so pro-Israel until the end. Well, like I said, they're saying behind the scenes, he was starting to shift his line of thinking. Candace Owens said that he was having a spiritual turning point. You're absolutely right. Guns don't kill people. Musa said you're 100% right. Yes, we know Tyler killed him. I don't know Tyler killed him because it's not making any sense. Apache Tomcat says Israel didn't kill Kirk. How do you know that? How do you know that? We don't know who killed Charlie Kirk. There has not been a trial. There's been an arrest and a so-called confession to family members, but we don't know who killed Charlie Kirk. There's not been a conviction yet. My point is, here's my point. Charlie Kirk had a huge voice. He had a lot of influence amongst a lot of people in this country. And there are powers that be that were funding him and funding his campaign. And if he started to go against those individuals because he would not push the message he wanted to push, it could be dangerous for them. That's the point. And if Charlie Kirk was starting to turn against the messaging from the individuals that wanted him to send the message, you have to ask yourself, how much power do these people have? Danny 1000 says spreading lies for views. I didn't say one lie yet. With no proof, that I never made a declaration. I am simply bringing to you what this source, this insider, right? This supposed insider came to tell these other individuals who wrote this article. I am telling you guys what this is about. That Charlie Kirk refused funding because he did not want to spread the messaging he did not want to stand in the pocket for Israel like they wanted him to. This is basically what this article is saying. Now, Charlie Kirk, according to this individual, was against what Donald Trump did when he bombed Iran on behalf of Israel. He did not want that to happen. By the following month, Kirk had become the target of a sustained private campaign of intimidation and free-floating fury by wealthy and powerful allies of Nosferatu, figures he described in an interview as Jewish leaders and stakeholders. He was afraid of them, the source emphasized. This is what is being said in this article. I can drop the link in the description. I can drop the link in the description when this live stream goes up. I have no problem with that. So don't come to me I'm talking about I'm lying. This is what they're saying. Someone close to Charlie Kirk came to them. But I'm lying. Leo says, stop these conspiracy theories. I'm merely telling you guys what happened in this article, what was written in this article, what the source came to these people and told them. What are you talking about? Jason Mulgren says, this is some anti-Semitic conspiracy theory shit from off history. What? Okay. I'm not blaming the Jews. I'm telling you guys what was in this article. But y'all don't like that, do you? Y'all don't like that. Y'all don't want to explore every angle. Y'all don't want to question the narrative when it doesn't make fucking sense. And it doesn't make sense. If Tyler killed Charlie Kirk and they found the weapon that was used in the woods and not on the roof, then why didn't Tyler have the weapon when he was getting off the roof? Why didn't he have the weapon when he was running to the woods? Why didn't the weapon appear to be on him when he was going to the building of the roof before the event? Why are these things not happening? Of course, y'all want to believe the narrative and y'all want to say I'm just blaming the small hats. It's okay. Candace Owens, who called Charlie Kirk her brother and best friend, basically said the same thing that was in this article, that Charlie Kirk was not willing to sell out any more or any further to the small hats because he did not like what was going on with Israel and Palestine. Called Candace Owens the liar. I'm telling you what they said. I'm telling you what was in this article. That's what I'm telling you guys. But, you know, y'all can believe what you want. Y'all can come in here and troll and all that good stuff. It's okay. Salute to DJ Dark Truth. Always ask questions. Exactly. See, Israel is on the verge. We have to understand what Israel is on the verge of expanding their empire across the Middle East, which would give them a whole lot of power due to the fact that there are so many resources within the Middle East in terms of oil, right? I told you guys after November 7th that this was going to happen. I told y'all that Israel was going to try to take over all of Palestine. I told y'all that they were going to attack Iran as well. I told y'all that months before it happened. Months, almost a year. I told y'all that. I said they're going to attack Iran. They're going to attack Iran, and we're not going to do shit about it. As a matter of fact, not only did we not do anything about it, we helped them attack Iran for no fucking reason. And now, you don't think that if, and then what about the ceasefire between Iran and Israel? When Donald Trump had brokered a ceasefire between Iran and Israel, And Israel decided to launch a barrage of missiles at them anyway after the fact. Because they're showing us, you can tell us whatever you want. We ain't gonna listen to you. Israel was testing the resolve of our government and the people within the government. Heffler, Intuitive Design, thank you for sharing. There's a lot we need to learn and understand. Researching the truth not only takes time, but courage. Yes, you have to do the research. I looked at this article because you guys got to check out the gray zone. Check out the gray zone. There's article after article about shit that you never heard about. How about this one? NYC's Mayor Adams boasts endorsement from rabbi accused of child molestation. Anybody heard about that? Anybody heard about that? Nicole D says Tyler was raised in MAGA, gun-loving family, and their son thought different as them. Do you think they were kind, given how MAGA currently act? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out during the trial how his parents treated him. This is what always happens, right? They have to build the character. They have to develop the character that is Tyler Robinson. They're gonna develop his character, and they're gonna convince you that he killed Charlie Kirk and that it was based on Charlie Kirk's rhetoric. No, I will not say R.I.P. for Charlie Kirk. For you, no, I will not. But look at this type of stuff. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has touted the endorsement of a notorious rabbi whose refusal to address accusation that he molested a child led to the major schism within the Black Hebrew Israelite community in the U.S. Wild work. Israel government issues death sentence to remaining captives. Israel's military leadership has acknowledged that the full occupation of Gaza will cause the killing of the remaining captives, but Nosferatu's government seems to want them dead. I've talked about this before. This article came out in August around the same time. I covered that very, not from here, but I covered that very thing. I talked about Israel didn't give a fuck about the hostages and that they were going to take over Gaza anyway. Understanding what's at play will help us prepare for what's to come. Anyone thinking Charlie spoke the truth does not want to know what truth is. Chaz LeBrec, absolutely. You know what listen, we have to understand Charlie Kirk was funded. Turning Point USA was funded by a lot of different corporations, by a lot of different groups that wanted him to speak the message they wanted him to speak. And when he decided that he wanted to do that anymore, maybe he had a change of heart, maybe he had a change of mind and was like, man. But one thing he never changed was the attack against the character of black people in general. He never changed that, did he? He wanted to convince y'all that black people are violent by nature. Like, we're just violent people. He never changed that rhetoric, did he? Yes, Trump has been accused of the same thing, yes. Man. No, he never claimed that. Yes, he did. What didn't he claim? Man. Yeah, scared of a black pilot. Most of you are, says Rick Martin's house. Most of us are what? Violent? That's a damn lie. That is a damn lie. And the fact that you actually believe that, yeah, it's quite sad. But you can believe what you want. Someone says I'm not black. I don't give a fuck what you say. I don't care about whether y'all believe I'm black or not. It is what it is. See, y'all don't want me to be black, but that's okay. Yes, he did say Charlie. Yes, he did. What? Charlie Kirk never said black people are violent. Y'all people are fucking delusional. How do we know it was not a fentanyl overdose that killed him? Where's the toxicology report? Exactly. Y'all off each other record numbers. That's what they want you to believe. But did you know that over 70% of exonerees are black? Do you know what an exoneree is? I'm not gonna get into that whole thing. I reposted a live stream I did 6 years ago that talks about those various statistics that you're using to say that we're off in each other in record numbers. You can go check that out. I go over many different sources and I bring many different receipts to show that that's a line of bullshit that they sold you. But you believe whatever you want. Ending the clicking days, look at the numbers. I've been looked at the numbers. I've been looking at the numbers for years. I go over those numbers in that live stream. That has nothing to do with exonerations. Jason Mogren, yes, it does. And it's not just exonerations. It's also the fact that judges and police officers deliberately target black people and charge them with crimes they never committed. Chaz Lebrecht says poverty makes crimes, not people of color of skin. Exactly. But they don't care about none of that. Y'all don't care about that. Maria Philomena says, come to Chicago. I've been to Chicago. My mother lives in Chicago, and my mother is in a violence intervention program. She helps run a violence prevention program in Chicago. I've been to Chicago multiple times. What does that mean? Go to Chicago. What is that going to do? I grew up in Los Angeles. Dovak Ironfire says, I'd love to see the receipts. Where are they? Go look. I posted it in my community tab. It's a live stream that I did 6 years ago. Go ahead. Radical Spirit says, why on earth would he be offered money from Israel to spread Israeli propaganda? What kind of question is that? He was a podcaster and a racist. Yes, he was, but he was also instrumental, if you want to believe in the power of the vote. He was instrumental in getting Donald Trump elected, if you want to believe that. He wasn't just a podcaster. He was a voice. Someone calls me a lying MFer. Okay. You can go bye-bye. You shouldn't be listening to liars. Let me help you out. Stray Godzilla, salute to you, brother. Maria Philomena says not in Illinois. What not in Illinois? What are you talking about? Y'all just be saying shit. That's what the DA does to everyone? What are you talking about, Charles? That's incorrect. That is incorrect. Go look at the Innocence Project. Go look at the Innocence Project. Zionists got rid of Charlie Kirk? Probably. Yes, all of us are human. Stray Godzilla says to keep the other shields in line. I would believe that as well. The truth may or may not ever come out. K. Garjay, salute to you. You said, Snap, how do you feel about the recent update about Charlie's killer and the possibility of it being the wrong suspect. I just talked about that earlier. I talked about how he hopped off that roof with no weapon at all whatsoever. He didn't show up to the roof with the weapon. He didn't leave the roof with the weapon. I talked about that. Now, because of all these cameras and social media and all that and technology, guess what? It's easy to spot this shit. And there are people out there doing the work, slowing down the camera, rewinding, showing frame by frame what's going on with this dude, getting on and off the roof, going to the roof, coming from the roof after the fact. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all, but I haven't heard about that yet. I haven't heard about anything from the government saying that he might be the wrong suspect. Not yet, but I'll look into it. Sam Seal, salute to you. Salute from West Australia by way of East Oakland. Salute to you, brother. All right, I'm about to get off here, guys. I got to go finish my workout. I know they big mad. Snow says, did I punch a Nazi 6 years ago? That's an interesting question. Depends on who you're talking about. Is this a Chomo you're talking about? The Nazi? DNA says we appreciate you. I appreciate you as well. I appreciate everybody in the chat, even the ones that disagree with me and call me liars. Because I don't want this to be an echo chamber. Unless you're saying some shit that's like completely ridiculous and out of line. You know. Tanisha Parker said he was a speaker who looked to spur lies on anyone who didn't look like him. You can get rid of hate with hate. You're absolutely right, Tanisha, and that's exactly what he was. But they don't want to acknowledge that. They don't want to acknowledge it. And guess what? It made it easy for those people, if they actually had anything to do with it, to do that to Charlie Kirk and steer the attention away from them because of the things that he said. Yes, God says, do you know who his father is? Whose father? No one ended the stream. The stream is still going. Anyway. I'm gonna get out of here. You call the article a liar? I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at you calling it a liar. But what I will say is that multiple people close to Charlie Kirk are talking about this very thing that this guy in the article said. Hey, yes, echo chambers are the worst. White people and Mexicans had a bad week. You funny, Sam Seals. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all stay up, man. His lizard wife did it. Y'all funny. Anyway, what is this lizard stuff? Why I keep seeing lizard? Are we calling prostitutes lizards now? Is that what we're doing? None of your business says anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism are not the same thing. Fucking tired of people falling for it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Anyway. Yeah, his wife's statement was interesting. The killer had a trans boyfriend. Of course he did. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect that the killer's the alleged killer had a trans boyfriend. It makes perfect sense. It fits perfectly into the narrative. To call Charlie Kirk a racist is an ignorant statement. No, it's a true statement. Anyway, it fits the narrative perfectly. Rick Martin's house says, next time bring real facts. Like I do every time. I do it every time. Sometimes I breathe things to think about, to open the mind about, and to consider. I'm not telling y'all to draw any conclusions from what I'm telling you today. I'm telling you, there are things to consider. There are things to consider surrounding this whole situation. That's what I'm saying. There are things to consider outside of what they're presenting to you for you to consider. That's all I'm saying. Y'all can believe what you want. I'm not here to force any ideology onto you. I am bringing you information. I am also pointing out inconsistencies and flaws in the narrative. So it is what it is. Call it what you want. Bada boom, bada bing, it is what it is. Anyway, much love. Like, share, subscribe. Let's keep having this discussion. It's very important. I know some of you guys are trolls. I know some of you guys don't really give a shit. I know some of you guys don't care that Charlie Kirk died, but what we should care about is who is really controlling this nation, who really holds the strings, who really wants to create this division. And the division is created. The divide and conquer the divide and conquer strategy always works, especially when the people that they are trying to divide are going with it. They're going with it. We go with it all the time. And this is why we stay where we're at. Anyway, thank y'all for coming through. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way out. Hit the downvote button if y'all didn't like what I had to say. But next time, consider, if you guys aren't open to new information that makes you think, then I hope someday you will become more open to it and we'll get to a better place. Jesm Smithy says, no, you don't deserve any interaction while she's interacting with me. Y'all need to make sense. Anyway, I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Somebody says this guy is a joke, but you're in here right in my comment section. Bada boom, bada bing. I got you. You're a radical liberal punk. Okay. Jesm Smithy says, you will become open-minded. Oh, is that a veiled threat? Sure. I'd like to see someone try. Tanisha Parker says, I'm speaking truth. Salute to you, Queen. Nice seeing you in here again. I've seen you in here before. Salute to Tanisha. Salute to everybody. Jesm Smithy says, I just repeated what you said, weirdo. Sure. Coach Hudson, salute to you, brother. Salute to you in the chat. All right, guys. Holla at y'all later. Y'all stay up, man. And let's keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace. Angel, salute to you. Salute to Angel. Dropping that 4,000 COP super chat. I appreciate that. Much love. No, Steve, you want me to be gay because you're gay. Ain't gonna happen, and I'm not. You welcome, Tanisha. Yeah, y'all want me to be gay, but I'm not.